got in your mess by being a male. You're going to get out by being a man. I said you got out of your mess being a male. You got in your mess being a male. You got that girl pregnant being a male. You got that STD being a male. You messed that life up being a male. But you're going to get out by being a man. If you have a child out of wedlock, you need to take care of that baby. That baby did not ask to be here. Being a man, a responsible man, you should take care of your child. You should take care of your child. The court system should not have to come after you to take care of your children. You should be a man and take care of your child. You had the child, you take care of the child, that's your child. You take care of your child. And that means, that means more than sending a check. I said that means more than sending a check. I said that means more than sending a check. There's got to be a time of impartation, not just a check. Because men now pat themselves on the back talking about I pay my child support. Yeah, but that kid still don't want to have nothing to do with you because you bought him a ball and he's bouncing it on the side of the wall because you're not there. It takes more than just a check. You had the child, that assignment is yours. You don't tell that. The man, what is a man? A man is like God, first of all. A man obeys God, secondly. And a man carries out the word of God, thirdly. A man is like God, number one. A man obeys God, number two. And a man carries out the word of God, number three. God's definition of a real man is one who will hear his word and will do it. God's definition of a real man, one who will hear his word and do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please listen to me, especially men. First of all, God made you. He knows what a man should be. You've not even come up to the potential of what a man is if you've not been born again. If you haven't been born again, you lack so much understanding about what real men are. Real men are godly men. Yeah, they are. Yeah, God made you, he ought to know. So by pure fact that you continue to reject God, you continue to reject your real manhood. And that's why your maleness dominates you, because you refuse to accept God into your life. And until you do that, you've not even taken the first step of becoming a man. Secondly, once you become a man, will you hear God's voice? And then thirdly, when you hear God's voice, will you obey God's voice? Those are the three elements that make up manhood. And if you lack them, then hello, but you just realized today that you're not the man that you thought you were. Male, yes. Man, no. God commands us to eliminate sexual immorality. He's talking to men. He says, eliminate fornication, eliminate sexual immorality. If we're real men, we will hear God's voice and we do it. But when we hear God's voice and we don't do it, we are demonstrating, again, we're not men, we're operating in maleness. Let me show you the biggest sissy in the Bible. Go to Jeremiah 38. Shephatiah, the biggest sissy in the Bible. Why? Because Shephatiah heard the words that Jeremiah had spoken unto all the people. In Jeremiah 38, he heard all the words that he spoke to the people. And look at verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, he that remaineth in this city shall die by the sword, by the famine, by the pestilence. But he that goeth forth to the Chaldeans shall live. For he shall have his life for prey, and shall live. Thus saith the Lord, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, the armies which shall take it. He was also told that if he turns himself in, he won't be harmed. But if he don't, then he will be harmed. He heard the words of God and refused to obey it. See, a man knows how to respond to his God. And when he knows how to respond to God, he knows how to respond to situations. He knows how to respond to the crisis in the home. He knows how to respond to the lack because he knows how to respond to God. But see, you keep trying to respond to the crisis and have yet to respond to God, who shows you how to respond to the crisis. And you think that's manhood. We've been so deceived about manhood. We tell our sons that they shouldn't cry. I mean, I understand what you mean, but there's a reason why he's crying. And when you tell him he shouldn't cry because men don't cry, if that's the reason he's not supposed to cry, then if you don't let him deal with those emotions and you help him to deal with those emotions, then one day he's going to be crying bullets, one day he's going to be crying cocaine, one day he's going to be crying all the other stuff you don't want him to cry because you didn't help him to understand those emotions that he was going through. Yep. I've seen even in my household, when my father would hug my sisters and then he'd come to me and he said, well, men don't hug, we shake hands. And I'm thinking, well, I'm a little kid, I want to hug too. I don't want to shake no hands, I'm a little kid, I want to hug too. I remember the first time I hugged my father, I was a grown man. That's stupid, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we had to spend all that time and because we thought that's what being a man was like. It was stupid. I think I only remember my father kissing me one time because I think he thought I had died somewhere and he was glad to see me. That's wrong. See, if you as a man don't show the proper affection to your son, then he's going to start seeking all of the improper affection. You understand what I'm saying? Because you won't do it. What's the matter with us? Really what it was is a bunch of fear. I don't know how to do this. I can't tell you how I felt when my dad put his big arms around me and hugged me and told me he loved me. Boy, that felt so good. We don't get it. Or we look at a kid who has a language of love and he wants to have some significance. He wants your face to light up when he comes in the room. And instead, when he came in the room, it was like, dang, what you want now? Bother me every Monday morning. We're going to school. He know I got to have lunch money. Why are we going through this? And we're debating with my sister who's going to go ask him. I asked him last week. There. We need some lunch money. Do y'all think that I got a tree that grow money in the backyard? Do y'all think money grow on trees? Look, man, we kids. You supposed to be taking care of us. We don't think nothing. All we know is at 12 o'clock, we going to be hungry. That's all we know. Dear God, don't keep giving us this same lecture. You work, dude. We don't. Where the cash? Because men have the responsibility to respond.